This is a test drive of the Kia Forte. Few things. This one is the GT line of the vehicle. So it's got the 2-liter turbocharged engine that you're going to find available inside of this thing. You do have the option for a 1.6 turbo. So if you're looking for something with a bit more power, a little bit more oomph, like a lot of it. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of bit more oomph. That's probably the one that you want to go for. Looking at the regular GT, that's where you get that 1.6 turbo. Outside of that, you're strictly looking at the 2-liter turbo and the rest of the lineup for the Forte. It doesn't matter which version of the vehicle that you're in, but this thing is still pretty nice. Like, it's got a decent amount of power, like 147 horsepower inside of this thing. When you get into the 1.6 turbo, though, it kicks it up to 201 horsepower instead. So you're almost like a 50% performance boost from one model to the next. It's a noticeable difference. But having said that, one cool thing, we've got our sport mode inside of this thing. We can also shift down and out in order to get to our sport mode if we want to manually switch out what gear we're in by going up and down. I don't know why I was doing this because this thing doesn't have paddle shifters, but at the same time, it still is really nice. One really cool thing that I like about the Forte, and it's actually kind of mind-blowing, is that we have heated and ventilated first row seats. So heated ventilated, which is amazing. Heated second row seats is an option there too. So this thing, a crazy amount of technology. I'm actually really surprised that we've got those driver convenience settings inside of this car. It's kind of mind-blowing, but kind of really cool all at the same time. I'm curious, I wonder if this street is still closed or not. Is it? Yeah, it's still, okay, still closed. I know one cool thing. So I've got the lane follow assist turned on right now as well. So as I go across different roads, you will notice, hold on, I got to do this. For the engine size, that is respectable. I will give it that. It is fairly respectable what it can do. So where I was going, I've got the lane follow assist turned on. So, I mean, my hands are hovering over the steering wheel, but at the same time, we go around bends and turns and things like that. This thing is going to keep me perfectly balanced in the lane. It is such a smart system. Now, there are some caveats to that. I mean, obviously, you need to make sure that, it's got to recognize the lane. So it's just not going to generically be able to, keep you going no matter what. It needs to be able to recognize the lanes, but as long as it does, it keeps you perfectly balanced as you go. It is a really, really smart system. And I did mention we've got our smart cruise control system there too. Obviously not going to get that inside of the manual version of the vehicle, but the automatics, you will find it. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Again, I'm in sport mode, so that's why you're hearing it rev up a little bit higher, why the RPMs are kind of going crazy. When you're in the sport mode, it blasts the RPMs. It just makes it that much of more of a sportier performance. But if you do want more, infinitely more power, you definitely want to look at the GT trim level instead. But if you don't care about the power, you're really just looking for a vehicle that's cost-effective, feature-loaded, the GT line is a pretty dang good option. It's got heated ventilated seats. We've got a sunroof inside of this thing. We've got the smart cruise control system. This thing even has a flat bottom steering wheel. It is wild. In Canada, we've got the heated steering wheel as an option there as well. It's really cool. It's quiet. Let's change that. Band is amazing. The bass, the way that it sounds inside of this thing is also really good, but there's one caveat to it, and one interesting part. This one isn't even the best possible audio that you can get inside of the Forte, because we still do have the option to get the Forte GT, which has the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system. Now, you can find that system inside of the GT line in the States, but it's strictly available in the GT when you get to Canada. But the audio inside of this is incredible. Nice deep bass you heard there. Song was amazing, band was amazing, but it's really, really good what this thing can pump out. It's funny, I've got the smart cruise control system going right now too. And it honestly, it's really, really nice having that system. And like the big reason why is because if you've got a little bit of a lead foot, it kind of keeps you in check a little bit. It keeps you humble, right? And the reason why is because it can monitor what speed you're going, and then if the car in front of you slows down, yours slows down. If they pick up speed, change lanes, get out of the way, yours is also going to pick up to your set speed again. It's really cool. But if you want to walk through, like if you want to know how that smart cruise control system works, like a live demonstration, check in the description. I've already put together a video on how it works. It's really, really cool. Got a little warning going on because my blind spot came on temporarily because there was a car behind me. Car's obviously turned, he's out of the way, but it lets us know. We could turn those warnings off. So the blind spot warning and things like that, if those drive you crazy, you don't have to use them, which is really nice. Nice casual drive. It's good. Yeah, I also do have, look at this, hands hovering over the steering wheel, but this lane follow assist, such a killer feature. It's like literally turning the steering wheel for me. Like the car is not self-driving in the sense that like you still right? So I lost the wheel for a second there, but you've got to pay attention, but it's really, really close to that self-driving capability. It is like, they're almost there. We've got the smart cruise control system, lane follow assist. This thing is going to bring me down, right to a complete, is it to a stop? Find out in a second. 2, 1, and stop. So it literally brought me right down to a complete stop as well, which is fantastic. So the smart cruise system, amazing system. And where that really comes into play and all this extra technology, if you go on longer distance trips, like I just did like a 5,000 kilometer, 10-day trip to the East Coast in a car that did not have any of this technology. I wish it had all of this technology. So if you go on distance trips, or if you just like to know that this safety stuff and all these settings are there as an option, going to some of the higher trim levels is worth it for the few $1,000s more that you pay, especially if you're going to be in your vehicle often. Like the seats, don't get me wrong, they are really comfortable. The cloth seat's okay. This synthetic leather seat, amazing, like super comfortable. I did mention, so we've got heated, ventilated seats. Like I've got a cooled seat going right now. Like it's hot outside. I've got this ventilated seat going, which is really nice. Okay, give it some gas. Let's see how she does. Again, for what it is, for a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine, that's pretty good. It is respectable in the sport mode. So, I mean, I've said it a few times, if you want the truest performance, like even in the turbocharged engine, the sport mode is where you want to live. If that doesn't matter to you, you could just look at one of the regular drive modes. So you've got some different options that are available. I love the lane keep assist though. Lane follow, lane keep, really good. 2 different systems. So you've got your lane keep assist, which is going to gently nudge you back into your lane, versus the lane follow assist, which, I mean, you saw it there earlier. It's literally going to keep you perfectly balanced and like take you around turns and bends and things like that. It's really nice. Like we can even dive into different settings where we can have this thing get to the point where if we're driving on the highway, we can base the speed off of our GPS location. So if the speed is, 80 in a certain area, 100, 110, whatever the case may be, we can have our cruise control automatically kind of adjust on the fly, which is amazing. Picks up speed nicely. And I gotta say, having this lane follow assist system, it is really, really cool. Like, you don't realize how much you like technology until you use it all the time. And having this as an option is really, really nice. Oh, I love it. And again, right down to a complete stop. The technology inside of this thing is amazing. I love it. I love it. It's really good. Durham Kia, nice enough to lend me the vehicle for the day to shoot the video. Check in the description below for their contact details. But like I said, this car is really, really nice. That's a look at the 2023 Kia Forte. What did you think? Technology-wise, feature-wise, I love the options that this thing has. But if you have any questions, drop down in the comment section below and let me know. I'm more than willing to talk you through any issues that you might be having. You can find the full build link for this car down in the description, as well as a series of other videos too. But if you enjoyed this one, thumbs up, share it with your social networks, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until I see you next time, take care.